In the heart of the African savanna, where survival is not guaranteed, and every second can mean life or death, a tiny lion cub lay alone. Its breathing was weak, shallow, its small body barely moving against the dry, cracked earth beneath it. The sun burned mercilessly overhead, and the silence around it felt unnatural. Because in the wild, silence means something is very wrong. The cub had been abandoned. No mother, no pride, no protection, no chance. Its golden fur, once full of life, was now covered in dust. Its eyes, barely open, searched for something that wasn't there anymore. Safety. But the savanna does not wait, and it does not forgive weakness. Far in the distance, something began to move. At first, just shadows, then shapes, then eyes. A pack of hyenas. They had already sensed it. The smell of vulnerability, the scent of death approaching.
Far in the distance,
they moved slowly,
something began to move,
circling the area like ghosts of the wild. Patient, calculating.
And it does not forgive weakness.
The cub tried to lift its head, its tiny muscles trembling under the effort. It let out a faint sound, not quite a roar, not quite a cry, just a whisper of life. But it wasn't enough. One of the hyenas stepped closer, then another. Their eyes locked onto the cub, their bodies low, ready. This was nature. This was how it always ended. The cub tried to stand. For a brief moment, it managed to lift itself. Its legs shook violently beneath it, fighting against exhaustion, against pain, against the inevitable. And then it collapsed. The dust rose softly around its fragile body. This was it. The end had arrived. But then, something unexpected happened. A sound. Different. Unfamiliar. Not part of the wild. Footsteps. Slow. Steady. Deliberate. The hyenas froze. Their ears twitched. Their attention shifted. Out of the shimmering heat of the horizon, a figure appeared. A man. Walking alone, directly toward the cub. The air changed instantly. The balance of power shifted.
But
The
then,
hyenas hesitated.
something
They weren't
unexpected
afraid,
happened.
but they weren't certain either. Humans were unpredictable, dangerous. The man didn't stop.
Step by step,
Didn't
he
hesitate.
approached.
Step by step, he moved closer to the cub, closer to the hyenas.
Step by
closer to
step,
the edge
he
between
approached.
life and death. The tension was unbearable. The pack watched him, their bodies stiff, ready to react at any moment. But something in his presence, something in the way he moved, made them pause. Finally, one by one, they began to back away. Not defeated, not afraid, just choosing a different outcome. And then they were gone.
And then they were gone.
Silence returned to the savanna, but this time it felt different. The man approached the cub
Finally,
slowly.
they began to
He
retreat.
knelt beside it, his shadow falling gently over its fragile body. For a moment, everything stood still. Then the cub moved. Its eyes opened just slightly, and for the first time, it wasn't looking at emptiness. It was looking at him. There was fear in its eyes, pain.
I was looking at him.
But there was something else too. Something fragile. Something almost impossible in a place like this. Hope. The man reached out carefully.
Finally,
Not forcing,
they began to
not
retreat.
rushing, just offering. And the cub didn't resist. With incredible care, he lifted the tiny body into his arms. It was lighter than it should have been. Too light. A life hanging by a thread. But still,
The lion
alive.
cub opened its
He
eyes.
stood up slowly, holding the cub close to his chest.
And the cub
Then
didn't survive.
He turned away from where death had been waiting. Each step he took, was a step away from the end and toward something unknown. Time passed. Days turned into nights, and nights into days. The cub was weak, but it was fighting. And this time, it wasn't fighting alone. Food, water, shelter, care. Little by little, life began to return. Its eyes grew brighter, its body stronger, its spirit unbroken.
Getting stronger.
One day, it stood.
And then one day,
Not
it
trembling,
stayed there.
not falling,
Getting stronger.
standing.
And then one day, it stayed
The
there.
same cub that once
Getting
lay
stronger.
helpless in the dust was now
And then one
looking
day,
at the world
it
with
stayed there.
strength in its eyes.
Getting stronger.
The wild had almost
And
taken
then one day,
everything from
it stayed there.
But something,
Getting
or
stronger.
someone, had changed its
And then one day, it
in a
stayed
place
there.
where survival is ruthless, where only the strong endure. One small act of compassion had rewritten destiny. Because sometimes,
Compassion
even in the
rewrote
harshest corners of the
destiny.
world, life finds a way.
Compassion
And sometimes
rewrote
hope arrives
destiny.
when it's least expected.